things to talk to you about cultures. We're going to discuss two different cultures, the hearing culture and the deaf culture. Now the deaf culture thinks the hearing culture is odd, and vice versa, the hearing culture thinks the deaf culture is odd. But there's understandings and reasoning. So the deaf culture, they use their body language, facial expressions. The hearing culture doesn't really use facial expressions. Maybe some body language, but not much. The deaf culture really depends on facial expressions, or if you want to say grammatical markers. Hearing culture really doesn't. The deaf culture uses their eyebrows for grammatical markers, like, for instance, what's your name? Where do you live? Do you enjoy work? Are you happy to see me? Is that your mother? The hearing people use their voice, and their voice inflection is what makes the difference. Now with grammatical markers, here's an example. Around the world, people have emotions. You know, I'm happy, I'm shocked, I'm angry, I'm surprised. I'm happy and I'm shocked. Let's discuss those. Did you enjoy work? Did you see your mother? Upset or sad? What's your name? And where do you live? See the eyebrows, how they're used? I've been working with children now for a long time. I want to say between 8 to 10 years. I work, I play, I socialize with the children. I'm fascinated by the children. The deaf children have deaf parents, and then they're deaf themselves. The parents are deaf. This means that the children understand and get ASL a lot. Let me give you an example. This girl, she was about 8 months old. Parents, she's playing around. She's running, and she doesn't notice. So I have 3 brothers. They're deaf, and they come to me. I'm analyzing myself, and I notice something. I understand the separation of the grammar markers, the emotions. I haven't yet learned emotions. Hearing children, they learn through speaking and seeing. And their ears, they're mostly auditory learners. So I asked the father where he was. And the child seemed mad and ran off. So I did a happy face. Where's your father? And the kid said, oh, father went to work. He's going to come back later. He understood the face. He didn't understand the facial expressions, really. So the hearing children with their parents, and they're talking, and how they use their voice inflection. It's the same with deaf people with grammatical markers and the facial expressions. Now let's talk about this mother and their children. Let's give an example here. Where's the dog? Now with me having my eyebrows upraised, you can ask, is this happy, where's the dog? Or is this a questioning, where's the dog? Now we're talking about facial expressions again and the signing. Asking father, where's the father? Because of how my facial expression is, they might think I'm mad, but I'm not mad. I'm just curious on where the father is. Now my brothers, I asked them, the three brothers, I asked them, when's Dad coming back home? Well, Dad's coming back home, so he's going to bring back food. My brother, who's 3, I didn't know that the grammatical markers and emotions were different. I didn't learn that yet, but they later will learn. Now, hearing and deaf people also use their eyes differently. Deaf people, of course, see a lot of things because that's how they communicate. They use their eyes. Hearing people don't. However, they tend to look around ever. It's rarely any eye contact, but with the deaf culture, there's a lot of eye contact. Let me give you an example of a hearing baby. I'm deaf, my parents are deaf. Now understand, I went off to college. I'm sitting on the bus, and there's a hearing person talking. So what do? I stand up and I give him eye contact, and I tell him I don't understand him hearing. Here's another example. My sweetheart. I'm going to go visit my sweetheart. It's my boyfriend and his family. So we go visit. My boyfriend's sitting in the living room. My boyfriend's mother's upstairs. My boyfriend and I are sitting there. And my boyfriend's yelling really loud to his mom. And what my son got out of it was that he was yelling at mom, as in yelling at mother, as in yelling at her. But no, he wasn't. He was just asking her a question. So hearing culture is just fascinating and different. Let me give you another example. Sometimes people are walking to the bus, outside, going to work, walking. And I see someone laughing as they're writing and they're talking. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on. So I'm looking at what they're writing at and I'm not seeing anything on what they're laughing. I'm trying to look for it. And so what are you talking about? And my coworker's like, oh no, I'm talking to someone in the next room. So they were exchanging conversation through a wall. There was zero eye contact going on. It was really weird to see that. Here's another funny situation. Again, my son and my boyfriend visiting the family. And my boyfriend's father was sitting across from us in the living room. The light was right next to him. My son was sitting right there next to him as well. There was just a little bit of a distance between us. And my son noticed that the light was going dim. So my father-in-law was talking. My boyfriend's father was talking. I wasn't really understanding what he was saying. So I got up and went to the light. And I fixed it. And they were conversating back and forth, my boyfriend and I did. My boyfriend's mother came in. You think the light's working? You think it's too hot? I'm watching them touch the light and I'm not really understanding what's going on. Doesn't matter, I'm looking at them, but I don't understand what's going on because I can't hear them. But I see their face and I see that they make eye contact, and that was what was clear to me. Otherwise, I have no idea what they were saying. Now the story with my son. He's going to be a freshman in high school. And they're playing sports and everyone's yelling. My son's standing there